Sethi sir, please.
Ma'am, I'm giving chief guest introduction, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Good evening to all. I feel extremely happy to host this online webinar on simple and organic compound. Now I request Dr. G. Bhavani ma'am to give welcome address. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome, ma'am.
Respected chief guest, Dr. D Reuben Jonathan, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Madras Christian College, Tambaram, Chennai. Respected Secretary, respected Principal, respected Vice Principal, dear colleagues, dear friends, and my dear students. Very good evening to one and all present here. I am extremely happy to take this opportunity to welcome our chief guest to this faculty development program and STTP program. I welcome and thanks to our management to give the permission to conduct this program. I welcome to our beloved principal, Dr. V. Nagajodi, he is the initiator for this program. I welcome to our vice principal, Dr. N. Sujata ma'am. I welcome to all the heads of the department and my dear colleagues. I welcome to all the professors and friends from in and around the college. My special welcome, dear all the students. We are conducted many more intra and intercollegiate programs and arrange the special lectures and inviting the eminent personalities to this field. Therefore, the students are very much benefited by this such activities. In continuation, for this academic year, we arrange a special lecture for this FDP and STTP. This is for the second day program. Thank you, one and all present here. Once again, I welcome you all. Today presentation topic is symbols and organic compounds. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. I am O. Senthil Kumaran, Assistant Professor of English Department. Profoundly delighted to take an opportunity to introduce our chief guest, Dr. D Reuben Jonathan, for this evening. He is an assistant professor from Department of Chemistry of Madras Christian College, Tambaram, which is one of the reputed college in the city. He is empowered with his 18 years of teaching experience. He has published 2 books and also 50 papers in peer-reviewed journals. He has also presented 20 papers. He is one of the members of Indian Chemical Society, Association of Chemistry Teachers, and Society for Advancement in Chemical Sciences and Education with life membership. Now, I request our Honorable Chief Guest Dr. Reuben Jonathan Sir to address the gathering and cast the light of this knowledge upon us. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, audible, sir.
Okay. So, good evening, everybody. I count it a joy to meet all of you through this online platform. In this occasion, I would like to thank God for giving me this opportunity to come and to give a presentation to the student community as well as to the teaching faculty members of certain things which are very meaningful with respect to chemistry. Now, before I could start, I will tell you something, and then I will go to sharing my screen with you. To begin with, let me share certain things with you. Few days back, I was talking to Bhavani madam. Madam said, sir, please give information to the students who can really go for higher learning. So I wanted to talk about the internships as well. So in this occasion, let me talk to you about the symbols and the organic compounds. And I will also talk to you about the internships that are available for the student community at the collegiate level. So I would like to throw a light on that. Before that, I would like to thank God for giving me this opportunity. And I must also thank the organizers of this program. They took time from their academic schedule and they have come together and they have come out with a beautiful thing called as Faculty Development Program and STTP for both teaching faculty as well as for students. So let me carry on with this, and let me share my screen with you so that we can carry on with the things. How can I upload this? How can I upload?
Sir, in the down arrow, the share, you can share is
Upload
selected.
file is there, no?
Yes.
Upload file option is there.
Yes, sir.
Should I have to do that?
Yes, sir. Go share.
Okay. I will.
Now slide is.
Now people are able to see the slide. Huh?
No, sir, one second.
No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir.
No. Here it says it is processing. So let me share that with you, and I will give a thought on that. Probably I should have given the material to you so that you could have done it. I did not know that there will be a lot of time duration that it takes. It is saying
No
it is
problem,
processing.
sir. You can select the share, sir.
I need to share. I selected share. So what I should do?
Then slide.
Share screen.
Yeah.
Then share screen. If I click, that's fine.
Yes, sir. Entire
Okay.
or Windows is there. Windows screen.
Okay. Fine. Now, do you see my screen now? Is it visible to you?
1 second, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, dear friends and colleagues from...
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. So, dear friends and colleagues from different institutions, I welcome all of you coming here during this occasion to sit and listen to me. Thank you so much for coming. And today, the topic that I wanted to share with you is something connected to the symbols and organic chemicals. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Now, I must tell you, as a student studying +1 and +2 in a school between 1992 and 94, I was exposed to mercury, and mercury is a liquid, and I was so fascinated by the physical status quo of mercury, and I was playing with mercury in a very critical sense, and without knowing the harm that it can do to me. But later on, I would like to tell you, when I went through the harmful effects that mercury can create, I was very scared. Whoa, wow, very difficult thing that I went into. I must tell you, it is very dangerous to handle mercury. So we should be extraordinarily cautious to handle chemicals on a day-to-day basis. So just because a chemical is given to us, we should not be wasting our time on playing with it, because every chemical is known to bring certain effects on human being, not just on human being. It will also bring greater damage to our environment. It will affect every system that is available before us. So here, I want to tell you this, that we need to be very careful in handling organic chemicals. That is the reason why I chose this topic, that I should give a light on symbols and organic chemicals. So here, let me give an introduction to you. Now, if you talk about organic chemical reactions, they are connected with organic compounds. It can either be in the reactant form, or for that matter, it can be in the product form, or it can be a combination of both. So here I must tell you, the first reaction is very famous. You would have studied in your +1 or +2, where ammonium cyanate is there. And I tell you, when you heat that, you get urea. Ammonium cyanate, the reactant, is what? An inorganic compound. But I must tell you, the product is nothing but an organic compound. So this is typically one form of organic chemical reaction. You take the second reaction, methane gas is there. Methane is nothing but it's typically an organic compound. it undergoes decomposition in the presence of steam. That is why I have written G along with water. So it is in gaseous phase. So in the presence of nickel, when we heat, the steam will interact with methane and will give you carbon monoxide and water. And here the starting material methane is what? An organic compound, but the product carbon monoxide is what? An inorganic compound. Still, this is an organic chemical reaction. And let me tell you something connecting the third equation that I have brought before you. And here you have an aldehyde, you have a ketone, you have sodium hydroxide, which can act as a catalyst. You take absolute alcohol. Absolute alcohol is nothing but a solvent which is used in this reaction scheme. And the reaction takes place at room temperature involving 1 atmospheric pressure. And apart from that, you need to stir this solution for 3 hours time. And when we do that, C double bond C is generated, and ultimately you get alpha beta unsaturated ketone. The starting material is an organic compound, the product is an organic compound. So what I'm saying is, we come across organic reactions on a daily basis. Even in living systems like us, you take every human being, the food that we digest, the different aspects that is taking place in our living organism, in our living system. What I'm trying to convey here is, it is connected with organic chemical reactions that I must bring before you. So what I'm trying to tell you is, even the present third year students, they will be relating to organic chemicals in a very critical manner, because they will be carrying out organic analysis. The sample will be given to them. They'll be finding out whether it is aromatic or aliphatic. They'll be finding out whether the given compound is saturated or unsaturated. They'll be finding out the given functional group present in the molecule that is available to them. And they will try to find out the elements that are present. Nitrogen is present or nitrogen is absent. All these things they will do. And finally, they will come to what is called as the derivative test, and they will report it. For all these things are typically connected with something called as organic chemical reaction. So it is good to have a clear knowledge of what is called as the different chemicals that will be used in coming out with organic chemical reactions in a laboratory. Don't worry, first year students, don't worry, second year students. You will be studying theoretically for the first year and the second year. But once when you come to BSc Chemistry third year, you will be coming across organic analysis, and you will also be coming across what? Organic synthesis. You will be preparing organic compounds. And for that, what I'm trying to tell you will be very useful to you. Even for other teachers from other background, for example, from physics background, from botany department, from zoology department, and even from other departments, microbiology departments, other departments, biochemistry department, any department, somebody who's connected with organic compounds should sit and listen to this particular lecture, because it will definitely add value to your research. It will add value to your learning in a very meaningful way. So in this context, I would like to say something about organic chemical compounds that are available before us, and how we should use them so that we will not be affected in any form, and we will be very well after carrying out the chemical reaction. Apart from that, we will not be spoiling the environment to a greater extent. So with this idea, let me complete my introduction, and let me move on to the next aspect of it. Here I must tell you, if you talk about an organic chemical reaction, it involves the substrate. The substrate can be an organic compound or an inorganic compound. The reagent can be an organic material or an inorganic material. The catalyst can be organic or inorganic. The solvent can be organic or inorganic in nature. And we should understand there are plenty of reaction conditions available. We talk about temperature, which comes with what is called as a thermal energy. Then comes pressure. Then inert atmosphere, if at all we provide, we supply nitrogen gas to it, or else we also supply rare gas to it. Then I must say, we must also stir the reaction so that the reactant molecules come in contact with each other in a meaningful way, so that they give you fruitful collision, and fruitful collision will give you the product. And finally, sometimes we pass UV light to bring about the chemical reaction, or for that matter, we use microwave energy, sound energy, electrical energy to bring about chemical reaction into reality. Because of that, an organic compound can be formed. So what I'm trying to tell you is, All these things are important things that should be understood. If you can understand this, then you will be able to plan the organic compound that is going to be involved in the scheme of things, and you can learn the different parameters that are connected with it. As a result, we will not be affected with respect to ill health. The other living beings, both from plant kingdom and the animal kingdom, will not be affected, and we will be able to do justice to the opportunity that is given to us. So let me move on to the next slide. Let me tell you, here we need to understand chemicals associated with organic chemical reaction can cause 4 problems. It can affect the health of a human being. Any man or a woman can be affected, provided they are exposed to organic chemicals. If not understanding the reality, then they will be in doldrums. So human beings can be affected. The second thing, even the living organisms, both plants and animals which live with us, they will be affected provided they are exposed to what? The organic chemicals. Then comes what is called as the materials that are with us, the dress materials that we wear, the gadgets that we use, and all the other materials that are available with us, they get affected provided these organic chemicals are not used judiciously. And finally, at large, I must tell you, the environment gets affected by pollution. Air pollution takes place, water pollution can be a reality, and for that matter, even soil pollution is very much a possibility. So what I'm trying to say is, if at all we learn the trick of the trade as to how we should handle organic chemicals, then we will be able to safeguard all these 4 important domains, so that at large what we do will be sustainable and ultimately people will be benefited. Now, before using what is called as any chemical for an organic chemical reaction, I would like to bring one idea before you. Here I have noted it down. Safety information is available in every bottle that contains what? The organic chemical. And it comes out with a pictogram, a signal word is there, hazard statement is there, precautionary statement is there, hazard classification is there, target organ is there, and storage class code is available, and personal protective equipment that is necessary to be used should also be available. So all these informations are available for every chemical that is available under sun. It could be an organic compound, it could be an inorganic compound. All these things are readily available for the people to go through and to have a clear knowledge. And even if it is not available on the sticker, that sticker label, that which is connected with the bottle, if you type the name of the organic compound in Google, you can ask for safety information, and all these parameters, all the details will come. We can go through that, and based on that, we can start using it with all caution and care. So I must tell you, this is very, very important that we need to keep in mind. Okay, now let me move on to the next thing. Here I'm going to concentrate only on the pictogram, and many other things are there at the back of it, but let me not concentrate on other things because we don't have time, because within 1 hour's time I'm supposed to complete things. So I will concentrate only on pictogram for now. Okay, we will move on to the next slide to make us understand what really pictogram refers to. Okay, now if you talk about pictograms, they are nothing but symbols that are available in the the label, that which is associated with a bottle. So those symbols, they give us information whether it is dangerous, whether it is poisonous, whether it is corrosive, whether it is harmful, whether it is creating some type of problem to human beings. If at all we smell it, all the informations will be clear to us. So they are available on labels. They alert us saying, be careful, they are chemical, they can cause chemical hazard. So we need to be very much cautious going through that pictogram. So it is a symbol which shows what we should be doing, what we should not be doing. So each pictogram will involve a symbol, and I must tell you that symbol will be covered by a framework, and that is coming with a red colored border. And I will show that to you, don't worry. It will represent a distinct hazard. So many hazards are there. Almost 9 hazards are there. 9 dangerous outputs are there. So of that, we will be seeing all these things in detail in the next slide. So these pictograms, these symbols, they help us to keep us away from harmful chemicals, but to use them in a very judicious manner, in all manner connected with the wisdom and understanding and insight, so that just like that we will not be pouring it on our hands, just like that we will not be pouring it on our body, just like that we will not be smelling it, and we will not create harm to us, and that should not affect our life. See, we need longevity, we need to live long, but I must tell you, if at all we take care to understand the pictogram that is available, then I tell you, we will be safe for long and we will have long life. So with that in mind, I chose this topic for you today. Okay, now let me move on to the next slide. Okay, now let me start here. So different pictograms are available on the labels of chemical bottles. Okay, almost 9 pictograms are available. One is called as flammable. The second one is coming with the exclamation mark. The third one represents health hazard. The fourth one is connected with corrosion. The fifth one is associated with skull and crossbones. The sixth one informs something connected with the flame over circle. The seventh one is connected with exploding bomb. The eighth one is connected with gas cylinder. And the ninth one is connected with what? Environmental hazard. So all these things are different symbols. We would have seen that in the past, but we did not understand the real meaning that which is associated with it, that is connected with it. Today we will try to understand how it is connected with us, and we will use that in the future when we use chemicals on a daily basis in the laboratory. I tell you, we should be very careful. Some will put their hands and they will put it into what is called as a test tube. No. You should not touch a chemical with your fingers. You should not touch your chemical with any other thing apart from what is called as the spatula or the glass rod that is offered to you. You should not touch it with your real hands. You should be very cautious about it. And that is the, and even some will try to smell it, and some will try to keep it very close to the nose and see what happens. All these experiential learning they try to get. But let me be very frank with you, it is very dangerous to handle chemicals, even if it is sodium chloride, that which is available in the laboratory. It should be handled with great care. If not, that also can cause danger under sun. So please see to that, you keep all these things in mind. Slowly, we will move to each title on a systematic manner, and then I will move to what is called as the internship related information. Okay, fine. So let me start with the first one. The first one is called as flammable. The first title is called as flammable. It is given with the symbol GHS02. What is GHS? GHS means globally harmonized system. GHS means what? Globally harmonized system. It is what? It is a representation for this particular symbol which is on the right hand side. A fire is burning. Okay. So if this symbol is seen in your bottle, then you need to be very careful. You should not take it near the flame. If you take it near the flame, you will get burnt. The table on which the materials are available, it will get burnt. And in the longer run, what can happen? The lab will get burnt. We should be very careful in handling it. Okay. So when we use these chemicals, we should not switch on the flames that are, you will have Bunsen burner. Bunsen burner will come out with Bunsen flame. And I tell you, the flame should be put off, and then only these chemicals should be used. Okay. The flammable chemicals, I have listed 2 examples to you. The first one is ethyl alcohol. The second one is ethyl acetate. And many more things are there. That is why I put etc. So when you use ethyl alcohol, when you use ethyl acetate, you should be very careful. So these flammable materials can be gaseous particles or liquids or even solids that can burn just like that, and it can cause severe damage. So the first one is of the flammable materials. The first one is called as self-reactives, and here it gets heated alone without air. It can cause fire. It can burst and create explosion. So we need to be very careful with those chemicals. The second one is connected with what? Pyrophorics. What are pyrophorics? Within 5 minutes, when they come in contact with air, they will burn. And I tell you, it should be handled with great care. Next, self-heating, that which can get fire on its own. Okay, they can burn for longer periods of time when they get exposed to air. And finally, I must tell you, there is yet another part called as organic peroxides. I must tell you, when heated, they cause fire, and they can also burn with bringing greater devastation. They can burst open and they can cause explosion, and it will create fear in the minds of people. So all these compounds, all these materials should be handled with great care. So if we know that organic peroxides are available, then we should be very sensitive so that friction will not take place, negative impact should not be offered to it, and keep ourselves away from any possible danger. So once when this symbol is available, you need to ensure that you should not be using flames nearby. That is the thing that you need to keep in mind. Okay, now let me move on to the next one. The next one is called as exclamation mark. So here GHS07 is given as the representation. So GHS, I already told you, it is globally harmonized system. Okay, the examples are ethyl acetate, acetone. All these things can do what? Harm. So we should be very careful. So an exclamation mark, in English we use an exclamation mark. So here that mark is used. Okay, and here I must tell you, the typical examples that are given, one is called as irritant. See, it irritates the skin. Let us assume this material comes in contact with our skin. Now the skin has melanin pigment. If lesser melanin pigment is available, then you will have more irritation. If greater quantity of melanin pigment is available, then you will have least irritation. So we need to be very careful when these materials fall on our skin. And even the eyes should be handled with great care. So when you get into the laboratory, please wear lab coat, and please ensure that you wear goggles. And without goggles, don't enter into the lab, because when you handle chemicals of this nature, they can cause eye burns and people can lose their eyes. So it should be handled with great care. So when the exclamation mark is there on the label, then you need to be doubly cautious. So that should be kept in mind. So it can cause allergy of the skin. Then it can cause what? Fatal organ damage. We have different organs in our body. These organs can get affected. So that is why they are called as acutely toxic. Okay. Then it also creates narcotic effect. What do you mean by narcotic effect? It creates drowsiness. We will not be able to stand properly. We will not have right frame of mind to think. It will create dizziness. It is an abnormal experience. It creates lack of coordination. That means the hand-eye coordination will not be proper. So all these impacts it can create, and it also affects the respiratory tract. So I must tell you, we should be very careful. The nostrils are very important. Okay, then the respiratory organs that are available, the lungs are very important. And already we come across the pandemic which is trying to trouble us. But even in this condition, if at all we are not very careful, then these chemicals will go into our nostrils, into the windpipe, and it will enter the lungs, and it will create respiratory tract irritation. So all these things are not necessary. So we should handle all these things with great care. So please be careful when you come across an exclamation mark on the bottle. So please be careful about it. Okay, then let me move on to the third one. The third one is represented as GHS08. Okay, you know what is GHS, and I tell you, it creates health problems. Thiourea, it will cause cancer. 1,8-dihydroxyanthraquinone, they are all organic compounds. They will cause cancer. So we need to be very careful. Then it can create mutagenicity. What do you mean by mutagenicity? It can create genetic defects. We will not be able to grow properly. One hand will grow, the other hand will not grow. All these limitations it will create in children. So please be very careful when you come across this particular symbol. Then it can also be a respiratory sensitizer. It causes irritation to the respiratory system, either to the lungs or to the windpipe, or for that matter even to the nostrils. So it will create toxicity to the reproductive system. Every human being is known to have a reproductive system. So that will affect, that will create damage to the fertility process that is happening in the case of women. And even unborn children will get affected. So ladies, we should always be very careful about using health hazard chemicals. And then I must also tell you, you have target organ toxicity. So different organs are there in our body. Okay, you have lungs, you have kidneys, you have liver, you have spleen, you have gallbladder, you have stomach. All these things are organs that are present in our body. So that can get affected, and because of that, the processes that are expected to happen will not happen in a meaningful way. And finally, the last is aspiration toxicity. This is a fatality if swallowed. Okay, some will try to put it in their mouth. We need to be very careful. That will enter into what? The food pipe, and it will also create problem to the windpipe. So we need to be very cautious about it. It should be handled with great care. For example, thiourea is given to organic chemistry students who try to find out sulfur presence in the organic compound. So in organic analysis, please don't give thiourea. If you give thiourea, it will definitely cause cancer and people will not live long. If people use 1,8 dihydroxyanthraquinone, then they will also get cancer. So please handle things with great care. Certain things we need to avoid and certain other things we need to give priority to. Okay, let me move on to the next one. The next one is connected with a title called as corrosion. Corrosion means what? Rusting. So it spoils the outer surface. The material gets spoiled. The living organism gets spoiled. The skin peels off. So all these problems can happen. So it creates greater irritation. It creates skin burn. It creates eye damage. It destroys metals. So all these things are commonly called as rusting. Okay, and in chemistry term, it is called as corrosion. So the representation is what? GHS05. And I tell you, you need to look at the symbol. And when you relate to all these chemicals, you need to be very careful about it, because they can cause damage to the skin. They can cause damage to the eyes. They can cause damage to the dress materials that we wear in the laboratory. And even it destroys the metals. Of course, the wood and all will not be affected to a greater extent. But to a greater extent, the metals, the iron, the copper, the aluminium, all these things will get affected. So we need to be very careful. I've given you two examples. Acetic acid. So you will be using acetic acid in the lab. And third year students will be working with phenols. And I tell you, instead of phenol, provide beta-naphthol for students to do what is called as organic analysis, so that in the future, if you come across what is called as phenol in your hand, you will get irritation for more than 3 to 4 hours at time. It will be a very painful experience. It will damage the skin. So please don't use phenol in the laboratory. I've seen people using phenol in the laboratory, both for the third year BSc chemistry students as well as for first year and second year MSc chemistry students. I've seen them using phenols in the laboratory. So instead of using phenol, please use what is called as beta-naphthol and other compounds. So all these things try to show that these chemicals should be avoided when some particular application comes into picture. We need to be very careful in its use. Or if you are going to use it, you will take precautionary measures. You will use protective gears, and then only you will use it. If not, it can cause a lot of damage. So I've also heard a statement like this: phenol, when somebody's body was connected with phenol for more than 13 inches, that person died. So damaging it is. It should be handled with great care. Okay, now let me move on to the next one. The next one is connected with the skull and the crossbones. So when you see this, you would have seen it somewhere. And let me tell you, this is not a good symbol. This is a very bad symbol. So this clearly shows the chemical is totally poisonous, very, very harmful, very, very dangerous to handle. So the representation that is given is GHS06. The examples that is given are chloroethanol, chloroform. So we have been using chloroform in the laboratory. Now, chloroform should be avoided. Chloroethanol can be avoided. Even if you are going to use chloroform or chloroethanol, you should take precautions. If you are not going to take precautions, then it can lead to fatality. It can lead to death. See, the substance is completely poisonous. The symbol shows only you take a human being. Human being is known for bones and skull and all these things are there. It is not just stopping with that. You have skin available, you have nerves available, you have blood vessels available, you also have what is called as flesh available. But here you see only skull and the crossbones are available. That means death is inevitable. We cannot stop it. So we need to handle things with great care. So acute toxicity means what? Complete toxicity, permanent toxicity. So when people get exposed to it, they need to be very careful. So it can be fatal. Fatal means what? It can lead to death. Toxic means what? It can lead to poisonous situation. So it should not be swallowed, or for that matter, it should not be inhaled. So if people inhale it, then also it will create danger. If it comes in contact with the skin, then also it can cause danger. So when you come across skull and crossbones, then please be careful about these chemicals, so that the teacher will tell you how to handle it. If not, don't use it. If it is available, just because it is available, don't play with it. And I tell you, it can be very dangerous. It should be handled with great care. Next. The next one is called as flame over a circle. So you have a circle available, and top of it you have a flame. That is how the pictogram is represented here. Okay. So the representation that is given is GHS03. The examples are hydrogen peroxide, PCC. What is PCC? Pyridinium chlorochromate. They are all oxidizing agents. So if you want to oxidize a group, you want to convert CH3 into COOH, you want to convert CH3 into CH2OH, you want to convert CH3 into CHO, you want to convert what is called as alcohol into ketone, you want to convert alcohol into aldehyde, you want to convert C double bond C into C double bond O, you want to convert C double bond C into COH. All these things are oxidizing reactions. Okay. And I tell you, we use oxidizers. And who are oxidizers? Oxidizers are chemicals which are involved in a chemical reaction with organic compounds. As a result, when the process gets over, the starting material gets oxidized. You get oxidized product. So complete oxidation will give you what? Carboxylic acid. Partial oxidation can give you alcohol or aldehyde or ketone. So a perfectly complete oxidation will give you what? Carbon dioxide. So that is how oxidizers they work. So I've brought some examples before you. Hydrogen peroxide will create what? An epoxide linkage. They are commonly called as what? Oxiranes. So hydrogen peroxide is used. C double bond C is converted into C single bond O. Or then again one C comes, so you get a 3-membered heterocyclic ring. Okay. So hydrogen peroxide is very useful. So because of that reason, you should be very careful in handling, because they can cause damage to our skin, they can cause damage to the eyes, they can cause damage to the respiratory system that is available to us. So we need to handle things with great care. So flame over a circle symbol represents oxidizers, and GHS03 is the representation that is given to it. And then we move on to the next one. The next one is also something that we need to understand in detail. So this is the last symbol that I wanted to bring before you, and I tell you, this symbol shows what? An explosion. In Tamil, you call it as vedikidu. Okay, where it burns out with a thud. A big sound comes, and I tell you, they are commonly called as exploding bomb. And I tell you, what should I say? The representation that is given is what? GHS01. Okay, the examples that are given: benzoyl peroxide, acetyl benzoyl peroxide. Now, I must tell you, you might be asking, where am I going to use benzoyl peroxide? I tell you, if you have what is called as C double bond C, and you want to convert C double bond C into C single bond C to bring about polymerization reaction, I tell you, you call it as vinyl polymerization. Probably in your polymers, you would have studied vinyl polymerization. There you would have come across benzoyl peroxide. Even acetyl benzoyl peroxides are also very dangerous to handle. They can cause fire. Okay, on heating, they explode. They cause fire to the whole scheme of things. So we need to handle with great care. When explosives are handled, when nitro compounds are handled, it should be handled with great care, because you come across trinitro toluene. Okay, then nitro compound based cellulose is there, nitrocellulose is there. All these things can be explosive, provided if it is handled with poor care. If it is handled with great care, then you can use them for chemical reactions. So exploding bombs can be connected with organic compounds, so we should be very careful while handling them in the laboratory. So with this in mind, I want to say I've given you adequate information concerning all these things, so please keep things in mind. For some students, they will be stopping with BSc chemistry and they will be going for some arts course, and some will go for work and all. For all these people, this may not be that much useful, but for those people who want to be in MSc chemistry, who want to do PhD in chemistry, who want to become a college teacher, who want to go to an industry to become a scientist, so for those people, all the information that I provide will definitely be useful. Then the last thing that I wanted to bring before you with respect to what the pictogram, this is the most simplest one, and this is something connected with what? Aquatic toxicity. Aquatic means what? Water-based poison. It creates water-based poison. So living organisms are present in water. Frogs are present in water. Small insects are present in water. Fishes are present in water. Small ones are present. Big ones are present. And crab is present. Then many more shrimp is present. Then many more things are there. Prawns are present. I tell you, it can cause damage to these living organisms present in water. Of course, we know for sure we eat a lot of fish, we eat a lot of crabs and prawns, so on and so forth, we do. But if these organisms are affected, then I tell you, when we eat them, we will also be affected. So we need to handle chemicals with great care. So the bonus pictogram is connected with the environment, and it is represented as GHS09. And the examples of peracetic acid. What is peracetic acid? Acetic acid is CH3COOH. Two O's are present. Now, if we take peracetic acid, then peroxide linkage will come. As a result, this acetic acid will have 3 oxygen atoms. Then aniline you will be using in the laboratory. For example, in your BSc program, you will be using aniline to synthesize an organic compound. And you will also be using aniline in the laboratory to come out with what? Organic analysis. So you need to be very careful in this context. As a result, you will not be wasting time with the handling what these poisonous chemicals, so that you will be saving yourself, you will be saving your neighbors, you will be saving all the materials in the laboratory, and let me tell you, you will be a boon to the society. You will create sustainable development, and still you will be connected with chemistry, still you will be using the chemicals, still you will be handling materials available in the laboratory, but you will be a blessing to the society rather than creating a damage to the society. So I hope that all these things will really give you some meaningful information, so that when you handle chemicals in the future, you will have this thought in mind. What thought? That you will handle all these things with great care. I tell you, you should not avoid from all these chemicals. You should use these chemicals, but you should use them judiciously, with all wisdom, with all understanding, with all insight, with all knowledge. You should use them, and once when you use them, you will be safe, your teachers will be safe, your friends will be safe, your family will be safe, and everybody will be safe. So that is how we need to do things. We should not create damage to anybody for that matter. So with this in mind, let me complete the first part of it. And a few days back, I was talking to Bhavani madam, and she was trying to tell me, sir, give some information for our students to enter into higher domains of chemistry. Then I said, okay, madam, I'll throw a light on that. Okay. Then I went through the brochure. I was able to see something connected with choosing a career in chemistry. So I don't want to disturb that person's opportunity of presenting. So I wanted to give some information with respect to internships. So these internships are very important. I will try to give an explanation as to what really internships are, and then I will conclude my talk. Then you can have questions. If at all you have questions, you can ask me, and we will try to understand, and we will try to move away for today. So let me go to the second part of my talk. The second part of my talk is connected with a title called as internship. Okay, fine. Here, let me go to the next slide, and you might question me, what do you mean by internship? I came for BSc chemistry. I wanted to clear all my examination. I want to come to college, I want to learn something, and then I want to go home. So let me tell you, at the collegiate level, you will be exposed to theoretical ideas to a greater extent and very, very less ideas to the experiential learning. Now, I tell you, you have got an opportunity to gain experiential learning. You do it, and because of that, you learn. You read it, you listen to people, you understand, you write, and because of that, you get marks. That is what normal learning. But experiential learning is very important in life. And here, I must tell you, internship is going to offer you this. You will be having summer vacation, you will be having winter vacation, at which time you can have conventional internship, you can also have online internship. So all these things are possible under sun today. Because of this pandemic today, online internship is also possible. You can sit at home, you can switch on your laptop, and then you can get connected with the Google Meet or some other online gathering facility where you can have internship through an online occasion. So here, I must tell you, if you talk about internship, it can be defined this way. You see, it is connected with a professional learning experience. Of course, you by learning in college, you get professional learning experience, but that is only half learning. The complete learning comes by seeing them, by touching them, by using them, and getting results out of them. So all these things are facilitated where in a professional learning experience through internship. And this professional learning experience is offered by which centers. You have academic domains available, you have universities available, you have colleges available, you have polytechnics available, you have schools available. All these places, they try to give professional teaching experience. So for example, you might say, how can I go and teach a university? You need not teach a university, you need not go teach in a college, but you can teach in a school. For example, let us assume you are a BSc chemistry first year student. Now you might think, how can I teach other people? Yes, it's possible. You prepare well and you go to a school, you take 10 standard syllabus, you teach symbols, you teach valency, you teach atoms, you teach homologous series, you teach about organic compounds, you teach about hydrocarbons, you teach about other things that are connected with it. I tell you, that will give you a good exposure. And this is what is called as professional teaching experience in an academic domain. Next, you come across a research institution. Plenty of research institutions are available. N number of research institutions are available. You can go there. You can learn the trick of the trade. You can learn how to handle experiments. You can learn how to handle instruments that are available there, which are very costly, which you cannot have in your school or college or any polytechnic or university. I tell you, you can learn good things. You can get in touch with scientists. You can get in touch with the seniors available there. You can build good relationship so that you can do your project there. When you complete your BSc chemistry, you will join MSc chemistry, at which time you can do your project there, and that will give you good interaction. Then you also have the third part, and third part is connected to the industries. You have plenty of industries. Software industries are available. You also have chemical industries. Chemical industries are far and wide available. For example, pharmaceutical industries are available. Without chemists, you cannot bring a tablet. Without chemists, you cannot bring any ointment. Without chemist, you cannot prepare any other formulation which is necessary. For example, vaccinations, chemists are necessary. Okay, so tablets are there. Okay, pills are there. For that, you need whom? Chemists. So we belong to chemistry background and we are ready to face that. So I tell you, professional experience can be offered to us and we should take it. And these opportunities are available. So, and what it does to us, I tell you, it provides meaningful experiential learning. Okay. The learning that you have at college is only sitting, reading, writing, listening. All these things will give you some information, but you do it. And I tell you, that will give you a better information, that will give you a better knowledge, that will give you a better confidence of dealing with the whole scheme of things. And that is what is called as experiential learning. Experiential learning will be provided to students in what domain? In the domain of internship, in the sphere of internship. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, please encourage people to go for internships. So you have summer vacation. So you will have at least 1 month of summer vacation. Every summer, you choose at least 3 weeks. You can go, you can learn, and you can come. Okay. And what should be done? You need to apply for the same. Where you should apply, I will tell you how to apply and all these things. I will try to throw a light on that. Okay, fine. And I tell you, what is the use of going for all these things? I tell you, it helps us to decide the field of study for higher education. For example, you complete BSc chemistry, you are confounded, you do not know what you should be doing. But once when you go for what is called as these internships, they give you an idea. Okay, let me try this. I like this. These experiments are very interesting. So let me take up MSc chemistry. And after completing MSc chemistry, what you can do? You can take a PhD and you can learn things that are connected with that field. Okay. And you can also choose a career of interest. For example, let us assume you are going and teaching in a school. I tell you, over a span of time, you will get a liking for teaching. From what you see among teachers, you will say, no, I don't like to go for teaching. But once when you start learning in your study room, and on the following day, when you go and teach the students who are available in school, for example, 10th standard students or +1 students, I tell you, that will give you a lot of satisfaction. Wow, this gives me a lot of satisfaction. Let me go for it. So you are able to choose your career. So internships gives you an experience, and that experience helps you to decide where to choose your career, which field you should work in the future. All these things, it gets sharpened. If not, there will be a lot of doubts. If you ask a third-year student, what is it you plan to do after 6 months? Because the examination is going to get over. If you ask, he will say, sir, as soon as the examination gets over, I will think what I should be doing. But that is not so. You need to plan things in advance, and that can be facilitated if you go for internships. Okay, fine. Now, how many types of internships are there? 3 types of internships are there. There is something called as academic-based internship. This helps you to go into teaching in the teaching domain. Research-based internship. This helps you to become a scientist. Then the third one, industry-based internship. This helps you to be a worker in any organization. So these 3 types are readily available for everybody to do their internship. So this is what I wanted to share with you. Okay, now let me share certain things that are connected with academic-based internship, research-based internship, and industry-based internship. Okay, fine. Let me start with the research-based internships that are available. You see, plenty of research-based internships are available in India. Okay, I must tell you, the college to which I belong to, every year, the first year students will apply for internship, the second year students will apply for internship, and first PG students will apply for internship. I tell you, every summer they get a chance to go out to different organizations. The best institution available in India is called as Indian Institute of Science, that is present in Bengaluru, Karnataka. This institution is there for more than 110 years of time. It was started by Tata Group, okay? And this is one of the premier institutions available in India. And I tell you, students apply for it and they get selected by certain professors available there. And these students, they go during the summer, they work in their laboratory for 45 days. And I tell you, they are provided with fellowship. They get food, they get accommodation, and they also get some pocket money. So 6,000 rupees, 8,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees fellowship they get for those days. So that is a nice experience because you go work with professors, you go work with scientists, you go work with research scholars, you get to see people from different parts of India. Your knowledge grows, your contact gets increased. So research-based internships are readily available. And I tell you, different scientific organizations are available. They sponsor these internships. So you can go through the website, you go to Google search and you type Indian Institute of Science. You will get a lot of information about Indian Institute of Science. Then a lot of IITs are there. Yeah, there are more than 20 IITs available. In Chennai also you have one IIT that is found at Adayar, just opposite to CLRI. Okay, next to Gandhi Mandapam, you have what is called as the Snake Park that is available. Next to Snake Park, you have what is called as Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. You have it. In Chennai also you have one. And many more, even in Tirupati you have one. And in Delhi you have one. In Mumbai you have one. In Kanpur you have one. In Kharagpur you have one. And you in Hyderabad you have one. In lot of places you have IITs available. You need to approach people in the right way, and I tell you, you will get a research-based internship. Then you have ICES available. These ICES are nothing but Indian Institute of Science, Education and Research. The most famous one is found in Pune. Okay, the most famous one is found in a city called as Pune, available in Maharashtra. And it is also available in Thiruvananthapuram, it is available in Tirupati, it is available in Bhopal, it is available in Mohali, it is available in Kolkata. Only 6 to 7 institutions are available. I tell you, these centers are wonderful places where you can go, stay, learn, and come back very joyfully, so that after you complete your BSc, when you take up MSc also, you can try. And when you complete MSc, you can do research, you can go and do PhD there. So you get in contact with a lot of people available there, and your knowledge base will go exponentially. So what I'm trying to tell you is, you need to have this thing in mind. So let me try for these organizations. The next thing that I wanted to bring before you is NITs. A lot of NITs are available. Plenty of NITs are available. One is available in Trichy. Okay, this is called as NIT Trichy. One is available in Karaikal. It is called as NIT Karaikal. One is available in Warangal. One is available in Dharwad. So a lot of places where NITs are present. So you can try for a National Institute of Technologies, and I tell you, they also offer research-based internships. Then I tell you, you have CSIR laboratories. What are CSIR laboratories? Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. They are having 46 laboratories all over India. For example, you have CLRI, Central Leather Research Institute. It is available in Guindy. Okay, next to Anna University, you have, opposite to IIT Madras, you have CLRI, and that is one of the CSIR laboratories available in India. There are many such laboratories available. One is available in Mysore, one is available in Karaikudi. Okay, you have National Physical Laboratory available in Delhi, National Chemical Laboratory available in Pune. All these laboratories are available. You can go and ask for research-based internships. So they will offer you, they will provide you fellowship. You can try there. Then Tata Institute of Fundamental Research is available in Mumbai, and I tell you, they offer research internship for students, and you can try. You go to the website, go Google, do Google search. You know how, you are all 21st century kids. You know how to handle the technology, the gadgets that are available before you. So easily you can access these organizations through their website. And Jawaharlal Nehru Center for Advanced Scientific Research is available in Bengaluru. You can try, and a lot of central universities are available. You can try there also. So these research-based internships are very useful. They give you fellowship, and I tell you, you can get in contact with lot of special people available. Scientists will be there, professors will be there, research scholars will be there, international experts will be there. You can talk to them, you can interact with them, you can learn from them, and I tell you, it will be a rich experience. And then let me move on to the last part of it, and this is called as industry-based internship. No, I don't want to go to research. Let me go to industry. So you can, there are a lot of industrial parks available. Okay, you have different industrial estates available. For example, Guindy Industrial Estate. Okay, Ambattur Industrial Estate. Okay, and many such Sidcot Industrial Estates. A lot of industrial estates are available. Lot of companies are available. Okay, and you can go, be there, learn what is happening around, make a mark, make a report, and submit to the department. I tell you, your learning experience will get enriched. You will know how to write the report. You will know how to talk to people. You will get exposed. You will be away from your parents. That is good for learning. You're going, because for all the days of your life you cannot be with your parents. So industry-based internships are also available. Lot of industrial parks are available. Industrial estates are available. You can go, you can try, you can get in touch with your professors available in your department. They will give you a lot of contacts. Okay. Then academic-based internships are available. For example, you can go to a school. For example, the simple example that I want to bring for you, you can go to your very own school. You would have studied in a particular school 2 years back. You will be in your third year now. What you can do, sir, you can go meet one of the teachers available or the headmaster available there. You can go and ask, sir, I want to teach 8th standard students. I want to teach organic chemistry to 8th standard students. I want to teach inorganic chemistry to 9th standard students. I want to teach physical chemistry to 10th standard students. They will consider, they will give you an opportunity. I tell you, that will give you a lot of confidence. And let me tell you, there is something called as Polytechnic available. I tell you, Polytechnics will also take candidates who can take class for a few days. So that at the end of it, you will get a certificate. You will be writing a report. You will be submitting it to the department. You will get a certificate. And all these certificates that come from research-based internship, industry-based internship, and academic-based internships, all these things will offer you certificate. And that certificate will be part and parcel of your growth development. It will be added to your CV. So what I'm trying to tell you is, I tell you, internships are very good for all of you. So everybody should try for it, because it will give you experiential learning. It will give you a greater insight. It will bring you to contacts with a lot of people. And I tell you, this is going to be a nice experience. You are all 21st century kids. And I tell you, a lot of things are open before you. When we were studying, I did not get all these opportunities. But you are having all these opportunities. Please try for it, go for it, and I tell you, get enriched very well. So at this point of time, I would like to thank all of you for sitting and patiently listening to me. And I also thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. And I thank Madam Bhavani for inviting me. And above all, I would like to thank God for sparing me during this pandemic and giving me an opportunity to come and share my experiences with you. Thank you so much.
Senthil sir?
Yes, madam.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable information. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Srinivasan. Now, give to President now vote of thanks. Sir, you, sir.
Sir, I am audible, sir. I am audible.
Yes, audible, sir.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Yes, sir.
Uh,
Good evening to all.
Srinivasan, please wait. Srinivasan, please wait, pa.
Okay, ma'am. Question
Sir?
section.
Yes. Sir, one of my colleague asking the question, sir.
Yes, madam. They can very well talk. I will answer them.
Okay, sir. Is the packed food items also and basic chemicals and any representations or symbols to make not be caution?
With respect to food, the organic type of food is very good to eat. And it is good to see through everything in a very clear fashion. And then it is not just for taste that we eat. It is for creating better health we need to eat. And that will give us a lot of advantage. So at this point of time, what I'm trying to tell is we need to understand what ingredients are present. And based on that, we need to identify them. If it is not viable, then we need to avoid them and we need to take something else which is going to give us good health. So every food, packed food, we need to find when it was manufactured and how many days it is going to have a shelf life. All these things should be identified. Just like that, we see from a shelf that is available in a shop, we get it, we like it, we buy it and we eat it. And that is not the right way of doing things. We should know when it was manufactured, for how many days it can be kept on a shelf, and what are the ingredients that are present inside, and in what way that is going to affect us. All these things we need to find out, and then we need to take if it is good. If it is not good, it's good to avoid.
The other one making a question, sir. Soluble dangerous chemicals cannot be made into a process of precipitation. Soluble dangerous chemicals cannot be made into a process of precipitation.
Okay.
So maybe she asking any possibility to make the precipitation to the dangerous chemicals.
Yeah, that is possible. We need to understand the technology behind it. We need to understand the technology. For example, let us assume you have an organic compound which is soluble in the medium. You need to use a non-solvent. When you use a non-solvent, what will happen? The soluble one will become insoluble. Once when the soluble one becomes insoluble, then you can filter it and you can keep it aside so that the liquid that goes out will be free from harmful materials.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome, madam.
Yes, sir. Srinivasan, please.
So, good evening to all. It is my pleasure to deliver a vote of thanks in this wonderful occasion. I express my deep sense of gratitude to the management for permitting to conduct the faculty development program. I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. D Reuben Jonathan, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry, Madras Christian College, Chennai, for his willing acceptance and enlightening us with his knowledge. Today webinar was full of knowledge, sir, and interesting things, sir. Thank you, sir. I thank our principal, Dr. E. Nagajodi, and vice principal, Dr. Hen Sujata, for their constant support and encouragement. I am glad to thank our head, Department of Chemistry and Science Club coordinator, Dr. G.P. Bhavani, for arranging this wonderful faculty development program. I am happy to express thanks to all the participants who have made this workshop a great success. I thank all my colleagues for the support to proceed this program in successful manner. I once again thank everyone for making this program successful. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, one and all present here. Thank you.